In this video, we're looking at the fascinating life of Bob Marley, the Jamaican musician, reggae pioneer and cultural icon. Bob Marley was loved by millions around the world for his catchy, often politically charged music, which gave us hits like One Love, No Woman No Cry and I Shot the Sheriff. Stay tuned to discover the truth about his arrest and imprisonment and why he refused to amputate his toe even though it would have saved his life. Before we get started, if you enjoy this video, please remember to hit the subscribe button to show your support and for lots more great videos about your favourite celebrities. Now let's dive in. Growing up. Robert Nesta Marley was born on February 6, 1945 on the lush island of Jamaica in the Caribbean. There's reason to believe that his birth name was actually Nesta Robert Marley, but a passport official allegedly reversed his first and middle name because Nesta sounded too much like a girl's name. Bob Marley was the son of Norval Sinclair Marley, a white British naval captain, and Cedella, a 19-year-old Jamaican woman. His father was 41 years older than his mother, and although Bob carried his father's surname, his father wasn't present in his life, returning back to England while Cedella was still pregnant with Bob. His mixed-race heritage was the reason why neighbours bullied him and called him white boy. This negative childhood experience helped to shape Marley's philosophy later in life. "I'm not on the white man's side or the black man's side, I'm on God's side," he famously stated, highlighting the deeply spiritual path his life would take. When Bob was 10 years old, he and his mother moved to Trenchtown, one of the most economically deprived and harshest areas of Jamaica. Gang violence in the area was commonplace, and while he was never part of a gang, he earned the nickname Tough Gong for his ability to defend himself. Music. Bob Marley's music career kicked off in 1963 with a group called The Teenagers, which included Bunny Wailer and Peter Tosh. The band evolved, changing their name to the Wailing Rude Boys, and then to the Wailing Wailers, and then finally to the Wailers. They quickly rose to local success in Jamaica, selling an estimated 70,000 copies of their single Simmer Down. Bob Marley and the Wailers, as the band became known, would eventually release 11 critically acclaimed albums, including 4 live albums. Jamming, the final track off the 1978 live album Babylon by Bus, captures the crowd frenzy and the sheer intensity of Marley's performances. But just when things were really taking off, Marley took a temporary break from his professional music career after he married Rita Anderson in 1966. They briefly lived in Wilmington, Delaware in the United States, where he worked as a DuPont lab assistant and on the assembly line at a Chrysler plant. He worked under the alias Donald Marley. Family and relationships. Bob and Rita remained married until his death, but the couple were anything but faithful to each other. The man who passionately gave the world songs like Is This Love is known to have been romantically involved with a string of other women. Marley fathered a number of children with these women, not only with Rita, but she also had a few relationships during their marriage too. Her daughter, Stephanie, was allegedly fathered by another man, but acknowledged as Bob's daughter. Some have speculated that her affairs were born out of jealousy, what with her husband conducting a slew of high-profile relationships with, amongst many others, the likes of the 1976 Miss World Cindy Breakspear. So just how many children did Bob Marley have? We know that he had 4 biological children with his wife Rita, 2 were adopted from Rita's previous relationships, and then he had as many as 8 other children with 8 different women. The official Bob Marley website acknowledges 11 children. Many of his children have gone on to achieve great things. His eldest son, Ziggy Marley, has won an impressive 8 Grammy Awards and been nominated 14 times. Other notable achievements by his children include music, charity initiatives, fashion labels, cookbooks, and various businesses affiliated to the family-run umbrella company Tough Gong. Rastafarianism. Bob Marley was raised Catholic, but in the 60s he became interested in Rastafari beliefs and he converted. He began to grow his now famous dreadlocks and became vegetarian in keeping with his new faith. Marley believed that smoking marijuana was essential to his spiritual growth and to his connection with Jah, the Rastafarian name for God. He supported the legalisation of marijuana not only for religious purposes but also because he considered it to be a healing herb. He was, in fact, arrested for possession and imprisoned for a month. This particular experience gave rise to the political messages in his music, as it was during his spell in prison that his fellow prisoners encouraged him to write more political songs. Even after his release, Marley continued to smoke and was a strong advocate for legalisation. To this day, his daughter Cedella is a high-profile advocate. Marley Natural is a global cannabis brand associated with Tuff Gong, of which Cedella is CEO. She claims the brand is an authentic way to honour her father's legacy. "My dad would be so happy to see people understanding the healing power of the herb," she says. Incidentally, the name Tuff Gong was Bob Marley's nickname. Passion. The world quite rightly remembers Bob Marley for his music, which was deeply influenced by his spiritual beliefs and political convictions. But there was something else that he was really passionate about his entire life: football or soccer. It's been suggested that he supported Tottenham Hotspur, but this is debatable. What we do know is that he loved Brazilian football and was a huge Pelé fan. He even made a famous Jamaican footballer his tour manager in the 70s. "If you want to get to know me," he once told a journalist, "you'll have to play football against me and the Wailers." If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. Death. On December 3rd, 1976, 3 gunmen ran into Bob's house and shot at Bob, his wife Rita, and their manager. Fortunately, all 3 survived. However, this traumatic experience led to Bob fleeing from Jamaica and moving to England. While the gunmen have never been caught, it's widely believed that the assassination attempt was political in nature, with Bob being caught up in a political battle that was taking place between 2 rival political parties. At that time in Jamaica, there was deep social unrest, and both parties wanted Bob Marley's endorsement. Bob did his best to stay neutral, but evidently that wasn't enough to keep everyone happy. The very next year, in 1977, it was discovered that he had a type of malignant melanoma under the nail of a toe. Amputating the toe may have halted the spread of the cancer, but he would have none of it. He refused his doctor's recommendations on religious grounds, but also because the missing toe would affect his music performance. Instead, the doctors merely removed the nail and the nail bed. The cancer inevitably metastasized, spreading to his lungs and brain. The artist continued to perform after his diagnosis, giving his last concert in Pittsburgh in the US in September 1980. In 1981, after a period at a German hospital where they attempted to cure the cancer using a very controversial diet treatment, he realised that he was losing his battle and decided to return home to Jamaica. While en route, on the 11th of May 1981 during the plane ride, sadly his condition worsened. He was checked into a hospital for emergency care when the plane stopped in Miami, but unfortunately that is where he died, aged just 36 years old. His body was flown home to Jamaica, where he was given a state funeral, which is usually reserved for the highest of dignitaries, and over 20,000 people showed up lining the streets to pay their last respects. He was buried with a football, his Gibson Les Paul guitar, and some marijuana. He memorably sang, "In this great future, you can't forget your past," and that's what his family seems intent on doing, keeping his legacy alive, making sure the world keeps listening to his songs and remembering his message. To that end, the Bob Marley Foundation continues his fight against depression, especially in developing nations. In 1978, a few years before his death, the United Nations awarded Marley a Peace Medal in recognition of his advocacy for disenfranchised blacks around the world. His home country of Jamaica also awarded him the Order of Merit, which is given to citizens who have achieved international distinctions in fields such as science and the arts. But the awards still keep coming in even after his death. In 1999, 18 years after he passed away, he was awarded the Time magazine Album of the Century Award, and the BBC named One Love Song of the Millennium. And even though his last words to his son Ziggy were "money can't buy life," the money keeps on rolling in. According to Forbes magazine, Bob Marley was the 5th highest paid dead celebrity in 2018. Now, if you've not yet seen our videos on the number 1 and number 2 highest earning dead celebrities, Elvis Presley and Michael Jackson, click on the videos that are on screen now. If you enjoyed this video, please support our channel by clicking the like button and subscribe for more videos on all your favourite celebrities. And let us know in the comments down below, what's your favourite Bob Marley song? Thanks for watching, catch you on the next video.